When you don't receive the product.
Yes. When you don't receive the product, like you never receive the product. Okay, yeah, I guess that happened to me a lot on Wish. That's why I don't like Wish, this Chinese website,
Yeah.
because I never receive my products. Okay. And oh, another complaint I have with online shopping is that sometimes the product doesn't look like the photos, you know?
Oh,
So it's like false advertisement. Another complaint I have is
you teacher,
sometimes, yes, tell me, Kimi.
or when you receive the product with some damage
Yeah, exactly. Or sometimes
or
when
broke.
the product is damaged. Yeah, that could happen too. Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. Now the next one. Internet providers. Internet providers in Mexico are Telmex, Megacable, and those are the two main internet providers that we have, right? But internet providers, I guess we could also consider Telcel and AT&T and T and Movistar because they provide us with internet. So a common complaint, the internet connection is not reliable and you hardly ever get the speed you pay for. Okay, so it's not reliable. What does that mean? That your internet connection fails a lot. There are a lot of problems with connectivity and you hardly ever get the speed you paid for. Okay, the speed, the how many megabytes. For example, to be honest, that's a complaint I don't have here at home because we hired like really high speed. Okay, actually, I'm gonna switch to another network. I'm gonna show you. Les voy a presumir my internet speed. Denme un segundo, me voy a cambiar a la red rápida. Wait. Ok. Espero que no me dejen mal. Vamos a ver. Algo me dice que sí me va a dejar en mal. Ok, anyways. Y sí, sí me va a dejar en mal. Justamente el día de la clase tiene que hacer esto. Anyways, okay, so it is like I'm measuring my internet speed. Let me tell you that usually my internet is really, really fast here at home. I mean, right now it is fast, but it's usually faster. I hired 150 megabytes, for my internet speed. And right now I'm only getting 99. 99 is still fast, but I usually get 200. So to be honest, that's a complaint I never have. Internet here in Veracruz is usually really, really good. Okay. So what about you? Do you usually have problems with your internet provider? And what
Yes,
problems do you have?
always.
Yes,
Yes,
Every
always,
day.
every
Always,
day,
teacher.
every day,
Yes.
24/7. Okay, yeah. For example, Coco is not here right now, but I remember that a year ago, Coco was having a lot of problems with Telmex, or at least that's the story that he told me. He was having a lot of problems with Telmex because his modem burned or something, and they took a very long time to change it. So that's another problem you sometimes have, right, with internet providers. Okay, now the next one is restaurants. Kimi, can you give me a hand with that one?
Yes, teacher. A
Yes.
restaurant, the server rushes you to leave as soon as you finish your meal.
Okay, so imagine this situation in a restaurant, okay? You are at the table, you just finish eating your lunch or dinner or whatever, and then the server rushes you because they need the table for the next customer, okay? So they rush you to pay because they want you to leave, okay? So that's something that hasn't happened to me, but I imagine it is possible for it to happen, all right? Then the next one is about vehicles, cars, etc. Vehicles. Your new car consumes too much gas. So, what problems do you think we can have with cars, with new or with old cars? What complaints do you imagine are common for cars? People, what problems do you think we might have with a car, new or old? You don't know seriously. Don't worry, you are going to discover that as soon as you buy a car. You know, having a car is like having a child because they are very delicate and you have to take good care of them. So some problems that sometimes arise with cars is that maybe they are not damaged. It's not like you crash or anything, and they start making noises. They start making noises, or the doors don't close properly, or the radio starts failing. I mean, you're gonna discover that when you get a new car. When they yeah break in the middle of the street. Well, that's like a more serious problem, but of course it happens, okay? Guys, promise me that when you get a plaza with your first salary, ese que va a ser un salario como de 6 meses porque se demoran como 6 meses en pagarte, you're gonna buy a car. Okay, promise you're gonna buy a car. Having a car is very nice, but it's a big responsibility. Part of being an adult, okay? The next one, repair services. Your TV breaks again and a week after, oh, sorry, your TV breaks again a week after it was repaired. So, you know, repair services, it can happen also with cars. You take your car to the mechanic, you pay 4,000 pesos to them, and a week later the car breaks again. It's like, hey, what happened with this service, right? It could also happen with laptops, with TVs, with pretty much anything that you need to have fixed, that you need to repair. Sometimes you pay for the repair and then the problem starts again. That's a problem that we had a lot last year with electricity here at home, you know, because there was a problem with our medidor or something like that. So we had constant electricity problems, all right? So I hope it doesn't happen again this year, but we never know. All right, and then finally, a parking garage. Someone damages your car in a parking garage. That's very common, to be honest. And unless it's a private parking service, usually like there's no one you can make responsible of the damage to your car, and you have to pay it yourself or through your insurance, okay? Anyways, okay guys, so these are some of the situations that the book presents. And right now we have some questions that we're going to discuss. Of course, we're not gonna discuss them like all of us together. I'm gonna take a picture of the situations and I'm gonna send them to the WhatsApp group so that you guys can have a group discussion, okay, or a team discussion. Now, just to give an example, let's see, I don't know, Ashley, can you ask me the first question? Ashley. Okay, someone else that's not Ashley.
Sorry,
Okay, there you go.
what?
Oh, okay, there you go. Ask me the first question, please.
Wait. Ah, I'm sorry. Have you ever had any of these problems? Which one? This
Yes, that
question.
one. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, you're gonna ask me extra questions, by the way. Okay. So, well, I am an adult, so I've had the majority of these problems. I mean, one time, Banamex charged me twice uh, some tickets that I bought for Cinepolis, and the problem is that I had bought tickets for like 6 of my friends, so they charged me like 12 tickets, so it was a lot of money. Another problem I had with online shopping is that okay, my husband bought some clothes online. It was like some underwear, and when the product arrived, it was clearly like a clone. It wasn't original, so we had to send it back. That was a terrible experience. Then with internet providers, well, not really. With the vehicles, well, yes. Like 2 years ago, my car got stolen, and it was very expensive to recover it. So that was a big problem. All right. Something else with repair services. Yes. Like 2 years ago, we had constant problems with our AC, our air conditioner. We would pay for it to be repaired, and then 2 weeks later, the problem would start again. The solution was to change to a different technician, okay, to a different repairman, because that was the problem in reality, okay? So in general, those are some of my examples. You are gonna discuss your own examples. Tell us, what problems did you have with the clothes you ordered from Shein, with the product that you bought on AliExpress? If not your problem, you can also talk about things that have happened to your parents, okay, and that you know of. Now, What extra question could you ask me about anything, any of the things I mentioned? I mentioned my problems with Banamex. I mentioned my problems with my husband's online underwear, all right? And I mentioned that my car got stolen. Ask me an extra question. Anybody?
What would you do in each of this case, this situation, bro?
Okay, good. Now, here it's not appropriate to say what would you do because they are real things. They already happened to me. Those were real stories. So no would. Instead of would, what auxiliary do you need?
What you did or no?
What did you do exactly? Okay. Now ask me about a specific situation. I'm gonna repeat my three examples.
Here,
One, Banamex charged me double for a purchase in Cinepolis. Another one is that we bought underwear online for my husband and it was a clone. It was an original underwear. All right. And the last one I mentioned was that I mentioned for my car got stolen 2 years ago and it was very expensive to recover it. And finally, we had constant problems with our air conditioner because we would pay for it to be repaired and then the problem would start again a week or 2 weeks later. Okay. So choose one of those situations and ask me something extra.
Teacher, what did you do when her husband's car was cloned?
Okay, no, his card wasn't cloned. We received a clone product. We received a fake. We received a copy. It's because, look, let me tell you the complete story, okay? Mario decided to order some underwear on Amazon, and it was supposed to be like some Calvin Kleins, you know? But when they arrived, you could see that they weren't like Calvin Kleins because we compared them to the other Calvin Kleins that he had here, and the quality was really, really bad. The product was very suspicious. So that's how we realized that the product was not original, that it was a clone. Now, Karen's question was, what did you do or what did he do? Well, what we did is that we decided to return the product to Amazon. And yes, they refunded our money. Well, partially, because they retained one part of the money because of import fees, por el impuesto que te cobran porque el producto venía del extranjero. All right? So they retained one part of the money, but they refunded the rest. That's what happened. Okay? Some other question. It could be about the same situation or a different one.
How did you react when you found out that your car was stolen?
How I reacted when I found out my car was stolen. Well, to be honest, it was a big shock to me, but initially I wasn't worried about the car. I was really worried about Mario because it's because you don't know the story, guys. You weren't with me when that happened. The rest of the group knows. Someone, I mean, two bad hombres, two people broke into my house here in Veracruz in the middle of the night, and Mario was alone. He was all by himself. So they took a bunch of things from the house, all the electronics, all valuable things, and they stole the car. Okay. So initially, when a neighbor who's my cousin called me in Tlacotalpan to inform me what had happened, to be honest, I wasn't worried about the car. I was like really worried about Mario, okay, because I didn't know if he had been injured or something like that. But then when I finally arrived to Veracruz and I saw Mario and I saw he was okay, then I got really angry about the car because the car was practically new. We had, y abusados que es pasado perfecto, we had bought the car in March and they stole it in October. So it was really, really, really infuriating, okay, and sad. But in the end, we recovered the car because they just abandoned it somewhere and we recovered it. But you have no idea how difficult it was and how expensive it was. I honestly hope something like that never happens to you because you have to go to El Ministerio Público and you have to spend hours and hours there. People abuse their authority. They ask you for money. Then when they recover your car, they take it to a corralón, and no es como que en ese momento puedes ir por él, lo dejan ahí días, and you have to pay for that, and then you have to pay for the repairs. It's very expensive to get your car stolen. I honestly hope that never, ever, ever happens to you, okay? So, but going back to the original question, at the beginning, I wasn't worried about the car. I was worried about Mario. But then after that, I got really angry. I felt really angry at life, at destiny. Okay. But I mean, everything has a solution, I guess. Okay. So that's pretty much the idea. Now, the second question, which is what Kimi had asked, I think. What would you do in any of these situations? That is the imaginary, a situation that I didn't mention. For example, from these situations, what is something that I didn't mention, something that didn't happen to me?
Internet providers.
Internet provider service. Okay, very good. So in this case, you could ask me this question. Hey, teacher, and what would you do if you had internet provider problems? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think I would get very frustrated with my connection. And then maybe I would change companies. Maybe I would switch to a different company. Okay, that's what I would do in that situation. What would you do in a situation that hasn't happened to you? All right. And then finally, the last question is, what other complaints have you had? So what other stories can you tell? Something similar to this. Oh, you know, I ordered some clothes in Wish and the size was too small or it was too big or the quality of the materials was really bad or I don't know. Tell some other stories, some other things that have happened to you. So now I am going to split you in two groups, okay? We are going to have group discussions. These were just my examples. Now you are going to talk about these situations. Of course, give as much information as you can. Ask extra questions, okay? As usual, that is the objective. It's just going to be two groups. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay, two groups, 4 people and 4 people, and that's it. Discuss them. You already have the photo in the chat, well, in the WhatsApp group, all right? Okay, babies, work. I'm gonna be spying on you. There you go, please. They are open.
The people eh, se me fue la palabra. Lleva.
Okay. Take.
Okay, take broken games and they want a refund, but the store.
But they broke the game, right?
Yes, that's a problem. They scratch the CDs, or and they say I don't know
What happened?
you sell us the game in that condition, but the game is new. Then not
They
the CD.
opened it.
Yes, the CD can be scratched if it's new.
Yes. And I imagine Edu, since he worked in retail, retail is when you work in retail is because you work at a store. Uh, you know, you must understand, Edu, that you have to be nice to the person. That's the worst part. You have to be nice to them, all right, because they are the client, they are the customer. But you have to be very clear with them. Like, I'm sorry, I am afraid we can't give you a refund because you took the game in perfect condition. It was closed. You opened it at home. The store can give you your money back or something like that. Okay. Now, let's try to remember once more. You tell me, guys. So what was Evie's strategy? What did she say? Try to remember. What did Evie say? Guys.
I
Baby, sorry.
bought
I bought
a
this
dress yesterday.
here yesterday. Okay. And then she said,
I have the receipt.
I have the receipt, or here's the receipt. By the way, guys, something that you should already know, but I'm gonna remind you anyways. In English, when you have two consonants together, it's really not common for the two consonants to be pronounced. Aquí tenemos dos consonantes juntas, la P y la T. ¿Cuál suena nada más? Receipt.
La T.
La T, la P no se pronuncia, okay, receipt. Okay, here's the receipt and then a story. All right. What about Darren? What was his strategy?
He directed
Directly?
directly
Uh-huh.
as
For the refund. But
Uh-huh,
how?
for
What
the
did he
refund.
say?
He explained the problem.
No, I mean, what I want is the expression he used to ask for the refund.
Chef,
Yes.
he said, I'd like for a refund.
I'd like a refund for this coffee maker. All right. Then the store manager said, okay, do you have the receipt? And he was super offended, like, how can I have a receipt for something I bought 4 years ago? And that's where the discussion started. And then the last girl did something similar to Evie. She said, I bought this laptop 2 days ago or something like that, right? But when I opened it, the screen was scratched. So, and then she says the problem, she mentions the problem. So these are 3 different strategies, babies, that you can adopt to ask for refunds, okay? Now, we're gonna use these expressions in activity number 5. Activity number 5 says, how can I help you? Or that's the name, how can I help you? So what we're gonna do for this activity, I want you to imagine that you bought something at a store. What? Whatever you want. It could be a video game console, a cell phone. I mean, it could even be a book or something, any kind of problem, any kind of product, sorry. And you are going to go back to the store to ask for a refund. What I need you to do right now is write down on a notebook, on a piece of paper, in a Microsoft Word document, in your cell phone notes, here in the chat, write down exactly what you're gonna tell the person in the store, okay? What strategy are you going to adopt? Evie's, Darren's, or Gisela's, okay? You can choose whatever you want, all right? I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 minutes to plan what you're going to say. I recommend you write it down, all right? And let me give you an example. Let me see if I find something. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay. For example, I have a better one. Okay, this is a book, obviously, but it is closed. I want you to see, maybe you can see it, but it has the plastic on, okay? It's a brand new book. Okay, so in my example, maybe I'm gonna go to the store and Edu, you have experience working at a store, so you are my victim. Okay, you are the person working at the store and I am the customer, the crazy customer, okay? Ready, Edu? Open your microphone. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Hello, good morning, excuse me.
Good morning.
How can I help you? Oh
How
my God, terrible,
can I
terrible,
help?
terrible salesperson. I'm gonna report you to your supervisor, okay? All right, when we finish. Okay, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Look, the thing is that I bought this book here yesterday, all right? Here is my receipt. Well, I didn't buy the book. My husband came by to buy the book, but he got confused. This is not the book I wanted. You know, this is Cien Años de Soledad, and I wanted El Amor en los Tiempos del Cólera. Can I get a refund?
The product is still closed.
Yes, it is still closed. Look, you can see. It hasn't been opened. It's not damaged or anything. And look, here's even the price. I bought it here with you at Sanborns.
Okay, we can't do refunds, but I can change you, but I can change the book for the book you want.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's excellent. The only problem is that this is a special edition and the book was 348 pesos. And I think the other book is cheaper. Is there any option you can give me? Or can you give me 2 books? or something like that?
Yes, you can cover the full price with any product of the store.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Here's the book, here's the receipt. Have a happy day, etc. All right. So you see, that was an interaction. So again, you have 2 minutes to plan how you are going to ask for a refund. And of course, also think of the product that you want to return. I was trying to return a book. What are you going to return? Okay. So 2 minutes. I'm going to try to play music for you. Oh no, but if I play music for you, I cannot show you the screen here. It's because today we can't use the speaker. I'm sorry, baby, it's not music. I'm just gonna stop the recording while you work. All right, guys, welcome back. Okay, let's see. So now we're gonna move on and we're going to talk about a new vocabulary word that we need for the next activity, okay? And that word is the word tenant, okay? Tenant is the word that I'm showing here on the screen. Can you see it? Tenant? Yes, can you see it?
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
teacher.
Okay, now what is a tenant? A tenant is a person who is renting a place, okay? So for example, you know, in Tlacotalpan, I am a foránea, right? So in Tlacotalpan, I am the tenant of a lady that is called Maria de Los Ángeles, something, something, okay? She's renting me one of the apartments in her house, all right? I rent a mini apartment, so that's a tenant. Now, something that we have to understand about tenants in Mexico and tenants in other countries like the United States is that usually renting a place, renting a house, renting an apartment is a more formal process in the United States and here in Mexico. Here in Mexico, it's kind of informal. At least in Tlacotalpan, it's very informal. I have rented 3 different places in Tlacotalpan, and they have never, for example, given me a contract. I never have a contract. It is kind of informal. Maffer is asking me if tenant is like casera. No, it's the opposite, Maffer. Tenant es el inquilino, all right? Casero o casera, depende, cambia si es hombre o mujer. Lo estoy escribiendo en el chat. Ok. Landlord es casero. Landlady es casera. Ok. Y tenant eres tú que es el inquilino. Okay, so, but what I want to explain is that usually tenant, landlady, or landlord relationships in Tlacotalpan are very informal. They don't give you a contract. And since you don't have a contract, I consider that landladies and landlords usually have fewer responsibilities. The thing is that when you rent a place in another country or in a more formal setting, both parts have responsibilities. Part of your responsibilities is obviously as a tenant, you have to pay the rent, but then the landlord and the landlady are responsible for fixing things around your apartment. And I ask you, as foráneos, is your landlord or landlady responsible for fixing things in your apartment? How often do they fix things that are damaged in your apartment, in your cuartito foráneo? Or they never fix them? What's your situation? Babies? The question was, does your landlord or your landlady, your casero o casera, ever fix things that are damaged in your apartment? Or they never fix anything?
And when I rented,
Yes.
my landlady
Uh-huh.
was the encargado.
Yes, was in charge. Was in charge.
Was in charge about fix, but else I have a contract,
A contract.
and if I
Damage.
damage the apartment,
Uh-huh.
I have to pay for fix.
To fix
But
it. But that sounds fair, no? Because if it is your fault, of course you have to pay. That sounds fair. Okay, now, why am I mentioning this? Why are we talking about landlords and landladies and tenants? Well, because it connects with the next situation in the book. Look, over here, we have a conversation, and I want you to look at the picture. This lady, she's called Heather. She's a tenant in an apartment building. But this apartment building, when you rent an apartment, you don't only rent the space, it also includes some appliances. Appliances like the oven, the refrigerator, the air conditioner, okay? Sometimes when you rent the place is empty and you need to buy your refrigerator and your air conditioner and everything, but not in this apartment that she's renting. In this apartment, she receives the appliances along with the apartment, and there is a person that the landlord or the landlady hired, and that person is responsible to directly fix everything that is wrong with the apartment. That person is Mr. Leroy. Mr. Leroy is in charge of maintenance. Maintenance es el mantenimiento, maintenance of the apartment, okay? So in this interaction, Heather is calling Mr. Leroy because there is a problem in the apartment. Let's listen to the conversation and then let's discuss what the problem is. Wait. There we go.
Page 38. Exercise 6. Conversation. It needs to be adjusted. Part A. Listen and practice.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Leroy. This is Heather Foreman.
Ms. Foreman?
In apartment 12C.
Oh, yes. What can I do for you? Does your refrigerator need fixing again?
No, it's the oven this time.
Oh, so what's wrong with it?
Well, I think the temperature control needs to be adjusted. The oven keeps burning everything I try to cook.
Really? Okay, I'll have someone look at it right away.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Leroy.
By the way, Ms. Foreman, are you sure it's the oven and not your cooking?
Okay, so what's the problem? Or what's wrong?
The oven
The oven
burn everything that he tried.
that she tries to cook, exactly. And the exact expressions is using, oh my God, I'm getting even worse at underlining things. The expression that she uses is the oven keeps burning everything I try to cook, okay? So here what's important is this, keeps burning everything I try to cook, okay? For example, a problem that I have in my apartment in Tlacotalpan, and it's something that I don't think the landlady is ever going to fix, is that in my apartment, the electricity keeps failing. You know, the lights keep turning on and off. And I mean, it's impossible to work, okay? So the light keeps going on and off in my apartment. So keeps and then a verb with ing. That is the expression that we're checking here, okay? So now, yes, the oven keeps burning everything I try to cook. Now, what is the possible solution that Heather considers the oven needs? What is the possible solution for the oven? It's here in the conversation.
Repair the temperature control.
Yes, exactly. She says, I think the temperature control needs to be adjusted, okay? So in general, here what we have is the temperature control needs to be and then adjusted, okay? So these two expressions, guys, are super important and they are the next part of the unit, okay? The temperature control needs to be adjusted. That is the possible solution. The oven keeps burning everything I try to cook. That is the symptom, okay? That is the main problem that she's noticing, all right? So for example, if we talk about something that is wrong in your house, can you think of anything that needs fixing? I can tell you something that's wrong in my house. Yes, is that one portion of the ceiling keeps leaking water when it rains. You already know leaking, right? So one corner of the ceiling here in my TV room keeps leaking water. into the walls when it rains. So the solution is that the ceiling needs to be fixed. Okay, that's how we use these expressions. Clear? Clear, clear, clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. I think it's very simple, but so-so, who said so-so? Okay, Queen, we're gonna check more examples, don't worry. All right, actually here in the grammar focus, we have a bunch of examples. This is describing problems 2 because we already checked describing problems 1. In the previous grammar focus, we checked the expression. So, you know, my jeans are torn, there is a tear in them. My car is dented, there is a dent on the bumper. My glasses are scratched, there are some scratches on my glasses, etc., etc. That was grammar focus 1. This is grammar focus 2. And what we're checking here is number 1, using need and a gerund. The oven needs adjusting. The alarm needs fixing. For example, if you observe this photo, I can tell you that the windows need washing or the windows need cleaning, for example, all right? Then we have a need plus a passive infinitive. It needs to be adjusted. It needs to be fixed. Bottom line, the difference is that here we have needs and we have adjusting, fixing, cleaned, repaired, changed, fixed, etc., painted. And here we have needs to be adjusted, needs to be fixed, needs to be cleaned, needs to be washed, needs to be changed. All right, so that's the difference in the structure. Capish?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. And then for the symptoms or the main problems, we use keep plus a gerund. Everything keeps burning, the alarm keeps going off, the lights keep turning off, the toilet keeps leaking water, I don't know, any other problem that you can find at home, all right? And now here, to practice this, here we have this picture, all right? So you can see that there are a lot of problems here in this kitchen. It's a kitchen, okay? And it is in terrible conditions. So here we have number 1 is the cupboards. Cupboards are these things, we call them alacena usually, all right? The fire alarm, which is not common in Mexico at all. The lights, which are these ones. The plants, all right? The oven, the ceiling paint, the window, and the light switch, okay? Those are some of the problems that we can see here in this picture. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna make sentences, this is oral practice. We're gonna make sentences with need, adjusting, need to be adjusted. Needs adjusting, needs to be adjusted. And just let me ask you a question. ¿Cuándo usaría needs y cuándo utilizaría need? Porque digo, aquí en este ejemplo dice, the oven needs adjusting. ¿Por qué needs con ese?
Because it is an mm,
The oven.
object. It is it.
Because it's it. Thank you. Vicky already said in the chat as well, because it's an it, because it's a singular. When you have a plural, for example, if I say the windows in plural, the windows need. El verbo ya no va a llevar ese porque es un plural. Pero si digo the window, una, va a llevar needs con ese. Ok, recuerden, it lleva ese el verbo. Okay, good. So, what is the mechanic? We're gonna take turns reading these sentences. Va a haber 2 opciones para cada una. Yo voy a hacer la primera, ¿ok? The cupboards. Opción 1, the cupboards, que es plural, por cierto, the cupboards need cleaning. Opción número 2, the cupboards need to be cleaned. Those are the 2 options, okay? Now let's see, Ashley, what about the fire alarm?
Okay. The fire alarm needs
Needs, porque es singular, the
Needs?
fire alarm.
needs adjusting. The fire alarm to be needs to be adjusted.
Needs to be adjusted. Remember, singular needs, okay? Needs to be adjusted. Thank you very much. Edu, what about number 3, the lights?
The lights need replacing.
Okay. One more time. The
The
lights
lights need replacing.
replacing. Good. And the next one?
The lights need to be replaced.
Replaced. Okay, there
Replaced.
we go. Perfect. Okay, what about you, Ingrid? Can you read number 4? The plants?
Yes, the plants need water
Watering. Uh-huh.
and the plants need to be watered.
Watered. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Karen, number 5, the oven. Watering es regar. Es cuando le pones agua a algo. Sería regar. Okay, yes. Okay, so Karen, number 5, the oven. Okay, en lo que Karen nos contesta, Kimi, number 6, the ceiling.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
The ceiling needs painting or paint.
Painting or
Okay. Or the ceiling needs to be paint.
painted. All right. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. All right, Queen.
The window needs washing and
Mhm.
the windows need to be watching,
Washed.
washed.
Yes. We're going to practice with pronunciations next week, okay? So, and then let's see, Maffer, number 8.
The light switch
Needs, porque singular. Ajá.
needs changing,
Ajá.
and the light switch needs change.
Needs to
Needs
be
to be.
changed. Change. Thank you.
To be.
Okay, Vicky, can you give me a hand with number 5, que fue el que nos quedó pendiente? Please, the oven.
Yes. The oven needs fixing.
Ajá.
The oven needs to be fixed.
There we go. Babies, easy or difficult?
Easy. Easy.
Easísimo, babies. It is extremely easy. It is super easy. All right. Yes, super easy. All right, babies. So you see, this is like the second grammar focus. Now, you already checked the instructions for the first part of the homework activities from the workbook. I am going to send you an additional instruction because we're going to have an additional exercise in the workbook. All right. Okay. And that's going to be it for this week. All right. Additional exercise, and then I'll see you again on Monday. Okay?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Okay,
Teacher.
perfect. I'm gonna stop recording, so you are free to go, my babies. People who have asesoría with me in the afternoon, see you in the afternoon. All right, and let's keep in touch. Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Bye.